Did you know your muscles do most of their repair work while you sleep? That's right. Nighttime is when your body rebuilds, strengthens, and restores. Many people think magnesium supplements are the key, but science shows two specific vitamins play an even bigger role in muscle recovery overnight. The best part? They're simple, natural, and easy to add to your evening routine. Let's explore four key reasons these vitamins matter so you can wake up stronger, healthier, and more energized. Among the many truths about health that often get overlooked, one stands out with quiet but profound importance. Muscle repair happens at night. During the day, your body is in motion, walking, bending, lifting, even the simple act of standing. These movements create small stresses and micro tears in the muscle fibers. That is not a bad thing. In fact, it is how your muscles grow stronger. But the healing, the rebuilding, the process that restores strength and prepares you for tomorrow's tasks, this does not happen while you are awake and active. It happens while you sleep. Understanding this point can transform the way you approach both rest and nutrition, especially as you age. You age. Muscles are not static tissue. They are living, dynamic, and constantly adapting to the demands placed upon them. Think of your muscles as hardworking employees. During the day, they are on shift performing their tasks. But no employee can work nonstop without breaks. At night, when you lie down to rest, the muscles finally clock out from the strain of the day. That is when the repair crew arrives, fueled by nutrients, hormones, and deep cycles of sleep. If you shortchange that process, either by poor sleep or by not giving your body the building blocks it needs, you miss the chance to rebuild strength. Over time, that deficit adds up, and what you experience is not just fatigue, but gradual weakness. One of the keys to this overnight process is protein metabolism. The amino acids from the food you eat act like raw materials for construction. During the day, they circulate and get used, but at night, growth hormone levels rise naturally, signaling the body to send those amino acids into muscle fibers. It is in those dark, quiet hours that the body repairs micro tears, thickens fibers, and restores muscle tissue. This is why people who consistently cut sleep short often notice reduced strength, slower recovery, and more soreness. The body is simply not getting the uninterrupted time it needs to rebuild. Now consider what this means for seniors. With age, the body becomes less efficient at repairing and building muscle, a condition known as anabolic resistance. It does not mean you cannot gain strength. It means your body requires a bit more care and intentionality. Sleep becomes not just rest, but medicine. Rest, but medicine. And nutrition, especially in the hours before bedtime, takes on a new level of importance. A light snack with some protein paired with vitamins that support muscle repair can make a tangible difference in how you wake up the next morning. Instead of stiffness and fatigue, you rise with energy and readiness for the day ahead. Sleep quality itself is also central. The deeper stages of sleep, particularly slow wave sleep, are where growth hormone peaks and muscle repair is most active. If sleep is fragmented, waking multiple times, lying awake in the middle of the night, the repair process is repeatedly interrupted. Think of it like construction workers trying to rebuild a bridge, but being stopped every half hour. The progress is slowed and the structure remains weak. That is why creating a sleep routine matters. Dim lights before bed. Avoid heavy meals late at night and allow your body the calm it needs to enter deep restorative sleep. For seniors who may struggle with sleep changes due to age, even small habits like consistent bedtimes and limiting caffeine can help restore this vital rhythm. The relationship between nighttime repair and morning vitality is direct. When muscles are allowed to rebuild, you move through the day with greater ease. Walking feels steadier, climbing stairs feels possible. Even the simple act of carrying groceries or rising from a chair feels less burdensome. Without this repair, weakness creeps in unnoticed. It shows up first in the legs, in balance, in endurance. Many older adults mistake this as an unavoidable part of aging, but in truth, it is often the result of neglected recovery. Supporting your body's natural nighttime repair is a way of actively fighting back against phased decline. Nutrition adds another layer of importance. Certain vitamins and minerals serve as catalysts in muscle repair, ensuring that the body's rebuilding machinery works efficiently. Vitamin D, for example, helps muscles use calcium properly and supports strength at a cellular level. B vitamins play a role in energy production, so that cells wake up ready to function. Together with protein, these nutrients turn sleep into a true healing process. It is no exaggeration to say that the way you fuel your body before bed shapes the strength you carry into the next day. What makes this truth empowering is its accessibility. You do not need expensive supplements, gym memberships, or complicated routines to harness the power of nighttime muscle repair. You need good sleep, consistent nutrition, and the awareness that your body is not passive in the night. It is hard at work for you. By respecting this process, you honor the body's wisdom and give it what it needs to thrive, even as the years pass. Imagine the difference over time. One path: short sleep, poor nutrition, muscles left unrepaired. Morning after morning, you wake with more stiffness, less energy, and less confidence. The other path: deliberate care, restful nights, and fuel for your body's repair crew. Each morning, you rise restored with steady legs and resilient strength. Both paths are available, and the choice lies in daily habits. So let us return to the original point. Muscle repair happens at night. It is not just a fact of biology, it is a call to action. Protect your sleep as fiercely as you protect your health. Support it with the nutrients your body craves. See rest not as wasted time, but as the most productive hours your body knows. Because in those quiet moments of night, your body is writing the script for your tomorrow. And when you give it the right tools, that tomorrow is stronger, steadier, and more full of life than you might have imagined. When it comes to aging well, two of the most powerful yet often overlooked allies are muscle strength and balance. These two elements shape nearly every part of daily life. They determine how easily you rise from a chair, how steady you feel on your feet, and how confident you are when walking outdoors. They even influence whether you can continue to enjoy favorite activities or live independently. The science is clear: preserving muscle and training balance are not luxuries for older adults, they are lifelines. Let us begin with muscle strength. After the age of 60, the body undergoes a process called sarcopenia, or age related muscle loss. On average, adults lose about 3 to 5% of their muscle mass each decade after midlife. That loss is not always obvious at first. Perhaps lifting a heavy bag feels slightly harder, or climbing stairs leaves you more winded than it used to. But over time, those small declines accumulate. Muscle weakness shows up in the legs first, making simple acts like standing, walking, or rising from the toilet more difficult. The danger here is not just inconvenience, it is dependency. Weak muscles increase the risk of falls, slow recovery from illness, and chip away at the ability to live freely. Yet the hopeful truth is that muscle remains trainable at any age. Research shows that even people in their 70s, 80s, or 90s can build strength with consistent practice. Muscles respond to demand. Give them resistance through light weights, resistance bands, or bodyweight exercises like sit to stands, and they adapt by becoming stronger and denser. Think of it as reminding your muscles that they are still needed. The benefit goes far beyond lifting power. Strong muscles support healthy joints, protect bones from fractures, and even improve blood sugar control. In essence, maintaining muscle is not about building bulk. It is about preserving function, independence, and health. Just as vital is balance. Balance is what allows the body to stay upright, adjust quickly to uneven ground, and prevent stumbles from becoming falls. With age, balance naturally declines due to changes in vision, the inner ear, and coordination between muscles and nerves. This is why slips and falls become more common in older adults. Falls are not only frightening, they can be life altering. A broken hip or serious injury often marks the beginning of reduced mobility and greater dependence. But here again, the story is not one of inevitability. Balance is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. Balance training can be simple yet profoundly effective. Standing on one leg while holding onto a chair, walking heel to toe across a room, or practicing controlled movements like Tai Chi all challenge the body to stay steady. Each time you practice, the brain, muscles, and nervous system refine their communication, making you quicker and steadier in real life situations. Core strength also plays a role here. Strong abdominal and back muscles act as stabilizers, allowing smoother adjustments when you shift your weight. The outcome of regular balance work is confidence, the ability to walk across a crowded room, step off a curb, or navigate uneven sidewalks without fear. Together, muscle strength and balance form a partnership. Strong muscles give you the power to move. Good balance ensures that power is used safely. Whoa, idea. Without strength, balance is shaky because the muscles cannot respond quickly enough to stabilize you. Without balance, strength is undercut by the constant risk of falling. But when both are cultivated, they create resilience. So you move with confidence, your steps are secure, and your body feels capable in ways that directly impact your freedom. Consider how this plays out in daily life. Imagine rising from a chair. Weak leg muscles make this task slow and straining, while poor balance makes it unsteady. Now imagine the same moment with strong legs and steady balance. You rise smoothly, without hesitation, ready to carry on with your day. Multiply that scenario across countless daily movements, walking to the kitchen, climbing stairs, reaching for something on a shelf, and the impact becomes clear. Strength and balance do not just improve physical ability, they shape the experience of living itself. What makes these points so encouraging is how accessible the solutions are. You do not need a gym or complex routines. Practicing a few minutes of leg strengthening and balance training each day can yield noticeable benefits in weeks. Sit to stands build leg muscles. Heel raises strengthen the calves, vital for walking stability. Simple stretches improve flexibility, making movements smoother. Balance drills challenge coordination, retraining your body to stay steady. These are small acts, but they accumulate into lasting protection. The science and practicality converge on one central truth. Aging does not demand surrendering to weakness or instability. The body remains adaptable, even late in life. With intention and consistent practice, you can rebuild strength and retrain balance, giving yourself not just years of life, but life within those years. And so the message is firm but hopeful. Muscle strength and balance are not optional, they are essential. They protect your independence, preserve your dignity, and keep you engaged with the world around you. Every repetition, every balance drill, every effort is an investment in freedom. Aging is not defined by the years on the calendar, but by the quality of movement and confidence you carry into each day. By choosing to nurture strength and balance, you choose to keep saying yes to walking, to living fully, and to embracing each day with resilience. Healthy aging is often misunderstood. Too many people assume that as the years go by, strength, mobility, and vitality are destined to fade away, no matter what they do. But science tells us something very different. The body is not a passive vessel simply worn down by time. It is responsive, adaptable, and capable of renewal at every age. What? To age well, the key is not magic pills or expensive treatments. It lies in understanding a few essential principles that preserve both body and spirit. Three of these stand out: protecting muscle strength, supporting heart health, and nurturing the brain. The brain. Together, they form the backbone of independence and quality of life in later years. Let's start with muscle strength. After 60, muscle tissue naturally begins to decline in a process called sarcopenia. This doesn't mean a sudden collapse, but rather a steady erosion of the muscle fibers that give us power and mobility. The loss shows up subtly at first. You might notice that carrying groceries feels heavier than before, or that standing up from a chair takes more effort. But left unchecked, this process accelerates, robbing older adults of the ability to walk confidently, climb stairs, or simply move without fatigue. The real danger is not weakness alone, but the cascade it sets off. Falls become more likely, recovery from illness slows, and independence becomes harder to maintain. The empowering truth is that muscle loss is not inevitable. Resistance training, whether lifting light weights, using resistance bands, or even practicing bodyweight exercises like squats and wall push-ups, can rebuild strength even in the ninth or 10th decade of life. Muscles respond to challenge at any age. When asked to work, they grow stronger, denser, and more resilient. Beyond movement, strong muscles also act as metabolic engines, helping regulate blood sugar and protecting against chronic diseases like diabetes. In short, strength is not just about lifting, it is about living. It is about living. By dedicating a small amount of time each week to preserving muscle, you are investing in your ability to stand tall, walk freely, and care for yourself well into the future. Equally vital is heart health. The heart is not just a pump. It is the engine that powers every cell in your body. With each beat, it delivers oxygen and nutrients where they are needed most. But as the decades pass, arteries stiffen, blood pressure tends to rise, and the heart may need to work harder than it once did. Left unaddressed, this gradual strain can lead to cardiovascular disease, the number one threat to older adults. Yet here too, the science offers hope. The heart is remarkably responsive to lifestyle choices. Even modest steps, such as daily walking, maintaining a balanced diet rich in fruits and vegetables, and practicing stress reducing habits like deep breathing, can strengthen the cardiovascular system. Exercise, in particular, acts like medicine for the heart. Regular movement keeps blood vessels flexible, reduces inflammation, and lowers the risk of dangerous clots. A brisk 20-minute walk, a few laps in the pool, or time spent gardening all stimulate circulation and protect the arteries. Nutrition also plays a profound role. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, such as salmon or walnuts, protect against arrhythmias and inflammation. Leafy greens, with their natural nitrates, support healthy blood pressure. The message is clear. Protecting your heart is not about radical overhauls, but about consistent, sustainable habits. Each choice, a healthier meal, a short walk, a quiet moment of calm, acts as a shield for the body's most vital organ. The third pillar of thriving later life is brain health. Cognitive decline is one of the greatest fears of aging, and understandably so. Memory lapses, confusion, or diminished focus can steal not only independence, but also the sense of self. But the brain, much like muscle and heart, is adaptable and responsive. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections, continues throughout life. This means that mental sharpness is not a fixed trait, but something that can be nurtured. Keeping the brain healthy involves a blend of mental stimulation, physical activity, and proper nourishment. Engaging in challenging activities, learning a new skill, reading, solving puzzles, or even having thoughtful conversations encourages the brain to stay active. Physical activity, surprisingly, is also one of the strongest protectors of cognitive health. Movement increases blood flow to the brain, delivering oxygen and nutrients that fuel memory and learning. Nutrition contributes as well. Foods high in antioxidants, like berries, help reduce oxidative stress, while omega-3s support the building blocks of brain cells. Sleep, often underestimated, is another cornerstone. During deep sleep, the brain clears away waste products that build up during the day, protecting against long-term damage. What ties these three elements together, muscle, heart, and brain, is that they do not exist in isolation. Strong muscles help the heart by promoting circulation and lowering blood sugar. A healthy heart ensures the brain receives steady oxygen and nutrients. An active, engaged brain motivates movement and better choices for the body. Each supports the other, forming a cycle of resilience. The beauty of this is that improvements in one area spill over into the others. By protecting one, you strengthen all. And so, the message is both urgent and uplifting. Aging brings challenges, yes, but it also brings opportunities to invest more deeply in the habits that sustain life. Every exercise you perform, every healthy meal you choose, every step you take outdoors, every puzzle you solve, each is a thread woven into the fabric of lasting independence. It is easy to think of health as something fragile, something slowly slipping away with time. But the science shows a different story. Health is something you can build, protect, and renew at every stage of life. Muscle, heart, and brain. These are not separate concerns, but the pillars of strength, vitality, and identity. By tending to them with care, you give yourself not just more years, but richer ones. Years lived with energy, clarity, and dignity. Aging gracefully is not about resisting time. It is about working with the body's incredible capacity to adapt. The choice is always in your hands. Every small step matters, every effort compounds. And with each decision to move, to nourish, and to engage, you shape a future defined not by limits, but by possibilities. One of the greatest misconceptions about aging is that decline is unavoidable, that muscles must weaken, energy must dwindle, and independence must slip away. But science tells a different, far more hopeful story. The body has remarkable resilience, even in later decades of life. By focusing on a few key pillars of health, seniors can preserve strength, protect function, and enjoy vitality well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. 4 of these pillars stand out: maintaining muscle strength, supporting bone health, protecting heart function, and keeping the brain sharp. Together, they form the foundation for not just longevity, but quality of life. Let's begin with muscle strength. After the age of 60, muscle naturally begins to shrink in a process called sarcopenia. The effects are subtle at first. You may notice that standing from a low chair feels harder, or that carrying groceries leaves you more fatigued. But without attention, the loss accelerates, undermining balance, slowing walking speed, and increasing the risk of falls. Muscle isn't just about movement, though. It regulates blood sugar, cushions joints, and protects against metabolic disease. The hopeful truth is that muscle responds to effort at any age. Simple strength building activities, body weight squats, resistance bands, light dumbbells, stimulate muscle fibers to grow stronger and denser. Even small efforts practiced consistently make an enormous difference. Think of muscle as a savings account. Every repetition is a deposit toward mobility and independence in the years to come. Closely tied to muscle is bone health. Many seniors worry about fractures, and rightly so. A broken hip or wrist can transform life overnight, sometimes leading to a permanent loss of independence. Bones, like muscles, undergo changes with age. They become less dense, more fragile, and more prone to fracture. Yet here too, science offers a path forward. Bones are living tissue. They adapt to the forces placed upon them. Weight-bearing activities like walking, climbing stairs, or light jogging stimulate bone cells to reinforce their structure. Nutrition plays a central role as well. Adequate calcium, vitamin D, and protein provide the raw materials for building and maintaining strong bones. It's important to understand that weak bones are not destiny. With movement and mindful nutrition, bones can remain sturdy, supporting you as you move confidently through daily life. The heart, meanwhile, deserves equal attention. It is the silent motor that drives every system in the body. With each beat, it sends oxygen and nutrients to tissues that depend on it. But as years pass, the cardiovascular system faces stress. Arteries stiffen, blood pressure climbs, and risks of heart disease grow. Too often, people assume this decline is beyond their control, but the reality is more empowering. The heart responds directly to lifestyle. Regular exercise, brisk walking, swimming, or cycling, keeps arteries flexible and improves circulation. A diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats supports cholesterol balance and reduces inflammation. Stress management, often overlooked, also lightens the heart's workload. When cared for properly, the heart remains strong, delivering not just years of life, but life within those years. A healthy heart is the difference between watching life from the sidelines and actively participating in it. Finally, let's talk about the brain. The brain. Cognitive health is often the most cherished concern in later life, for memory, focus, and mental sharpness shape identity itself. The fear of losing these faculties is real, but so too is the science that shows the brain's capacity for renewal. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections, does not end in youth. Seniors who challenge their minds through reading puzzles, learning new skills, or even engaging conversations are actively strengthening brain circuits. Physical activity plays a surprisingly critical role here as well, improving blood flow to the brain and enhancing memory. Sleep, too, is indispensable. It allows the brain to clear toxins and restore function. Nutrition again has its place. Antioxidant-rich foods like berries and omega-3s from fish protect against inflammation and cognitive decline. Keeping the brain sharp is not about waiting for problems to arise, but about nurturing its resilience daily, just as one would with muscle or heart. What makes these four pillars so powerful is how deeply they connect to one another. Strong muscles protect bones by stabilizing joints and preventing falls. Healthy bones, in turn, enable mobility, which supports cardiovascular health. A resilient heart ensures steady circulation to both muscles and brain, sustaining their function. A sharp brain motivates the choices, exercise, nutrition, social connection that reinforce all the others. These are not isolated goals, but interlocking systems, each amplifying the other's strength. The lesson then is that aging is not a story of inevitable decline, but of active partnership with the body's natural capacity for renewal. Every step you take, every nutritious meal you choose, every moment spent moving or engaging your mind is an act of preservation, of dignity, of independence. Too often, health advice can sound like a list of restrictions or warnings, but the truth is much more encouraging. It is about opportunity. You have the chance each day to build, to protect, and to enrich the very systems that sustain you. In the end, what matters most is not just how many years you live, but how those years are lived. Muscle, bone, heart, and brain. These four pillars support the house of your independence, your freedom, your identity. When you care for them, you are not only extending life, but enhancing its richness. Aging is not a closing door, but an open invitation to invest in strength, to walk with confidence, to think with clarity, and to live with joy. Every effort counts, and every choice builds momentum. The power to shape the years ahead rests in your hands and your hands.